Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about Detroit and about the coded message and about my family's history with Detroit. You know, my parents met in Detroit and then they've been moved to California because my father was assigned there. He's a brain surgeon. He worked as a brain surgeon for 45 something years, and my family was so sabotaged that when he finally retired, he has, financial difficulties because he invested a lot in his medical company, and they try to leverage that to try to tell me what to do. And they kind of, have gold diggers talk down to me. They have the community turn their back on me. I'm targeted in various ways, fumed and poisoned every day, and so on and so forth. If you look at the history of the harassment of black men in this country, you can see that it has everything to do with a lot of things. It has everything to do with the Ibo Tribe, right? About 1 million Ibos came to the Americas in the transatlantic slave trade. A lot of them went to Brazil. A lot of them went to the South, South Carolina, where I believe it was South Carolina where this guy who played the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, was from. And so he kind of has this Ibo way about him with the eyes and so on and so forth. Now, that has to do with manifest destiny and the idea of a manifestation, to manifest something, which in the occult sense is, to kind of try to make something come true or to try to manifest your destiny, what have you. And that is very much tied to Crowley and the English and H.P. Lovecraft and Madame Blavatsky and these famous occultists you'll hear about. If you don't know that much about it, maybe see a few videos on YouTube, maybe, buy a book or so, Manly P. Hall. These are people who prove that this isn't just some conspiracy. They have large followings, and people into the occult, including Freemasons, are, in fact, Manly P. Hall was a Freemason. They're very much interested in that sort of stuff, right? And it connects to the history of America, expansionism, continentalism, nation building, okay, and manifest destiny, and other ideas that you probably learned in grade school in your history class, maybe in high school, maybe in college. They're very much connected. So when we're talking about Detroit gangs, first of all, we are talking about some people that don't play around. And almost immediately, because a lot of them are Ibo descent, they kind of remind you of me in some ways. If you do your research, you'll see this guy say, it's kind of like this guy, but they're more ghetto, they're more this, they're more that, right? I'm mulatto. A lot of them have more black genes than I do, but I'm from the royal family of Dr. Martin Luther King's tribe, and I'm the top martial artist ever. Okay, and I'm not a racial supremacist, not a mulatto supremacist, not a black supremacist. Just giving you the facts here, okay? And I'm running out of memory on my phone, so I'm going to try to make this fast here. So you see groups like Max Out, okay, and the Bloods from a certain area code, and we'll get to that shortly. You see Cheddar Grove, right? You see that there's A-Trade gangsters moved over here, Shotgun Crips, Rolling 60 Crips, right? There's a group called the Reaper Crips, and there's, various groups, and some of them are said to have gone defunct, right? And, they had a indictment on the Rolling 60s Crips. So the Rolling 60s get around, right? A-Trade gangsters, right? They're Colorado, New York. They have various factions here and there, right? These various Crip factions all over the country. The Bloods are very big in this country, right? New York especially, the United Blood Nation, what have you. So we look at the 48205. The 48205. Well, the 4 is the D, right? A, B, C, D. The 8 is the H. The H is the ancient symbol for the fence, right? The 2 is the B. The 0 is the O. And the 5 is the E. And so what that is scrambled is Ibo HD.